Hey guys, Steven here. Fanatic perspective. Really tough, disappointing loss for the Dallas Cowboys today. Go down to Kansas City, 19-9. Cowboys now go to 7-3 on the season as we head into Thanksgiving Day against the Las Vegas Raiders, and we wrap up our AFC West schedule. So hopefully we can, get back on track against the Raiders and at least go 2-2 against the division. So a lot to discuss. I want to jump into it. First off, I want to say a quick thank you to our sponsor, BUSR. BUSR.com/fanatic, the official sportsbook, the official betting partner of Fanatic Perspective. Right now, if you make a deposit, take advantage of that promo code SPORTS100 FP. It is a 5-time rollover promo. They will match 100% on all deposits for 100% free play. So you put in $100, $200, you get $100, $200 in free play. Really cool. Went on busr.com/fanatic today myself. Had a nice little 3-team parlay that I put in this morning for the early games. So proud of myself. Won some money. Shout out to Steve. Hit on Dolphins. I think it was +4.5. Niners +6.5 parlay, all that parlayed with Washington +3. So that was a good little morning or early afternoon fun before what became the Cowboys game. So right off the bat, right, the offense, they got to own this, right? And when I say take the next step, I'm gonna get into specifically what I mean by that. From the opening, we get the ball. Yes, Dak Prescott misses the throw to Michael Gallup. I think a lot of people are over. I'm hearing some people say if he hits that throw, the whole game's different. Maybe win the game, all this other stuff. I've never come from a line of thinking that football operates that way. I do think that probably helps momentum early in the game, but they seem to be off and had a lot of issues to me schematically, and I'm gonna get into that as well. But right off the top, yeah, he misses the throw opportunity for a big play. I think that probably ends up being 25, 30 yards, right? Because the safety was right there, Juan Thornhill coming downhill. Uh, Third down, hit Noah Brown right in the chest, right? So we do get a good throw, do get some pass blocking. We have everything there. We miss it, right? Um, we get into a situation where we're pass heavy. I think 43 passes today to 16 runs. And I don't know if that counts for, you want to add in the dropbacks and things of that sort. So we're not balanced like we try to be, like we strive to be. And Steve Spagnuolo, what it boils down to this is Steve Spagnuolo took Kellen Moore to school today. That was Kellen Moore's, to me, his worst game as a coordinator this season. The Denver game, I definitely put that more on Dak and just the whole more execution type stuff. Dak, the offense, all those guys, right? They're making a lot of money. They didn't execute in the Denver game. Everybody was right, obviously, last week against an Atlanta team that seems to be falling apart. This week, I do actually have more blame for the staff, and here's why. This was not the week to go, in my opinion. We hear on Friday they go Connor McGovern replacing Connor Williams. I don't have an issue with you wanting to evaluate Connor McGovern at left guard. We all know the penalty issues that Connor Williams has had. He's leading the league in penalties. Inexcusable. However, when you realize Tyron Smith is not playing in this game, we're going on the road. We're going to a hostile environment in Kansas City. Communication, he's playing right next to him. It's not like you're putting Connor McGovern right next to Zach Martin, right? So now we're putting Connor McGovern in there next to Terrence Steele and Tyler Biotish. I think that's a really, really tough spot to put somebody in as a new starter. I rather in that situation go with consistency there. Connor Williams has been at left guard now for the last 3 years. So I have consistency there. I take the risk with the penalties or whatever. He's still also one of my best run blocking offensive linemen. And I put him next to Terrence Steele and I wait for Tyron to come back. And then like what was the rush to get McGovern in here this week? That's my question, and I hope that we can address that in the media because it seemed rushed. And here's what it is: am I saying Connor McGovern was the sole reason for all the pass pro issues? No. We saw Chris Jones winning on everybody. Chris Jones and Micah Parsons were the two best football players on the field today. I don't even think it was particularly close between 95 on Kansas City and 11 on Dallas, and they both played on defense. But Chris Jones wrecked everybody on our offensive line. It wasn't exclusively Connor McGovern. But here's where it becomes an issue: is communication, chemistry, certain checks. Like I said, hostile environment. Connor McGovern is going to communicate a little bit differently than Connor Williams, or pick up things or roll off blocks a little bit differently. And I just didn't think this was the time to go all out and make that type of switch. I think it impacted early in the game. I think it impacted your run game too. I think it definitely impacted pass pro in certain situations. Yeah, were there opportunities, even schematically, right? This leads me to another thing: short yardage. And this is something I've noticed all season. I just haven't been able to really, really speak on it. I am not a fan of our short yardage scheme, play calling, what we're doing, right? I think too many times we get in third and threes, third and fours. I would say third and five and in, third and fours, right? Where we're getting in the gun, we're going 11 personnel, and we're not getting any beaters right off the bat, right? Whether it's man or zone. And the things we do convert, we're converting because the quarterback goes off script and completes something, or he extends, or if we hand the ball off, somebody has to break two tackles. Like I don't see, the Chiefs that last drive, because the Chiefs struggle. I'll talk about the Chiefs too. When they had their essentially their 4-minute offense, they get the ball back after we go 3 and out. We have the sack. It's 8 minutes left in the game, and the Chiefs burn off 6 minutes. One of the things they did on some of their short yardage stuff is just a quick little rollout out of like a 12 personnel package and just getting Kelsey on the boot, right? But those are easy conversions that we seem to struggle with it, right? Like we're having to run, rub routes or screens and stuff like that. And unless it's perfectly executed, we don't get it. It doesn't seem we're getting those things easy. I still love our scheme on first and second down. I still love our scheme overall. I love what Kellen Moore is doing. I love his creativity. I think he's a brilliant young offensive mind. I think he had a rough day today. I mean, there was a play, I forgot uh, what the distance was, but it was third down, and we check it over on a swing route to Zeke, who gets tackled for like a yard, and my tight end is doing a button hook, 3-yard button hook. Guy on the outside is doing a button hook. Like but when you watch Kansas City's offense on those same scenarios, they're crossing. Guys are running into, all those are the type of rubs you want to see, not some of the stuff we're doing on the outside, I should say. So I would like to see us get, and I don't know if that's something that can be fixed during the season. Honestly, I mean, I'd like to see us just become more proficient in that area from a short yardage standpoint. I think that helps takes this offense to the next step. Because here's the thing: few questions, because I'm gonna go over to the defense too. But big picture, I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna say it again later. Who in the NFL do you trust? Because to me, every team in the NFL is really, really flawed. Like all 32 teams. I don't see any team in the NFL where I'm like, maybe the Patriots right now because they're really hot and who they're playing, but we beat the Patriots in Boston, right? So when I don't see a team I really just trust week to week. I mean, you look at the Titans laying an egg today against Houston Texans. Seems like every week people are laying eggs. The Rams have loaded up. They've now lost 2 straight games. Buccaneers are playing tomorrow night. They've lost 2 straight games. Packers lost today in Minnesota. Like, who do you trust in the league? We were the number one offense coming into today. We scored 9 points. And we can talk about Amari, who we find out, and I think that definitely impacted the outcome of this game, late in the week, Friday. Yes, next man up. Yes, we have Ced Wilson. Yes, we have Noah Brown, Michael Gallup, all these guys. We lose CeeDee Lamb. Dak throws a poor ball in the end zone. I like the opportunity to take a risk. Too far inside, ball has to be outside shoulder, kind of on the sideline. Either it's out of bounds or CeeDee makes a play. He comes down on his head. He has a concussion. Concussion protocol now is 5 to 7 days. So we Who knows if he's available for Thanksgiving? That's an issue. We we end up in this situation where it's essentially Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, Malik Turner, and Dalton Schultz, right? Those are your guys. And you're not getting the same separation. Probably haven't a lot of those guys haven't had the same reps collectively as well. You know how much time Gallup has missed. And that definitely bogs down the offense. But we didn't help ourselves by getting back into the run game. That's still on us, in my opinion. We can make excuses about the people that are out. We can make excuses. We know what our record is when Tyron doesn't play, but there's things you can do to help guys out. I thought at certain times we made some nice checks to some screens and making it easier, especially on the guys on the edge, Leal and Terrence Steele. But overall, us just taking our own selves out of our run game because schematically, all that shotgun, spread, empty, all that, it's not the way to play the way they were playing us today, in my opinion. I think that was where we needed to go more tight, more 12 personnel, more bunch, real tight stuff, and really just try to ground and pound and then play action off that and build our pass game off the run game. That's what I would have preferred to see. And then hope you can open up some seam stuff to some of the tight ends. I know you're trying to avoid Honey Badger and he's dangerous, but there's opportunities there when somebody's playing you that aggressively, but they're not traditionally a good run defending team. I just don't understand why we took ourselves out of that. So there's a lot to clean up schematically. Yes, the quarterback definitely can play better and be more efficient. But overall, I mean, when you're combining the drops, we also see why, said Wilson is still, a good third or fourth guy. We see why Noah Brown's a good third or fourth guy. Those guys struggled when they needed to step up, and that was frustrating as well. But who in the NFL do you trust? Because you look at the Chiefs, they scored one touchdown today in the first quarter. On their first drive of the game, they don't score a touchdown the rest of the game either. If you're a Chiefs fan out there, do you feel good about? I mean, you feel good that you beat a good Dallas team. You feel good that your defense is really starting to get hot. Spagnuolo, everybody, Chris Jones, everybody's balling. If you're a Chiefs fan, you definitely feel good about that. I don't see where you're really still running the ball effectively. Tyreek Hill's out there, Travis Kelsey's out there, and Mahomes is out there. And while I was fearful of Mahomes and what he can do, because he can touch you from anywhere on the field, it got to a point where you never really felt like the Chiefs were going to blow the thing open. As many opportunities as they had. I mean, who would have thought that Mahomes and Dak would have combined for 5 turnovers and no touchdowns? No touchdowns, 5 turnovers, and 8 sacks between Dak Prescott, who's an MVP candidate and has the number one offense, and Patrick Mahomes, who's all world, all everything. So it's a weird year in football. That's my point. Because coming into today, the Bills were the number one scoring defense in the NFL, and they gave up 41 today to the Colts. I don't know who to trust in this league. And that's why you have to kind of look for signs because it's a marathon. And I'm going to end on a positive. Micah Parsons needs to be he's not the defensive rookie of the year. He not just the defensive rookie of the year. It should be a candidate for defensive player of the year. His impact is phenomenal. He's transformed this defense, the identity, the toughness they're playing with. We're talking about guys that are out on offense. Randy Gregory ain't there on D. Tank Lawrence ain't there on D. Wait till those brothers get back, right? Back in the mix. It's going to be scary. And our DBs held up very well today, all things considered, right? So Micah Parsons, though, the edge that he brings, the passion that he brings, the strength and power, he has a wow factor that jumps off your TV screen with his explosiveness. Several times you see Patrick Mahomes flat out underestimate how fast Micah Parsons is. He is special. 11 is special. We are so lucky that draft situation happened the way it did. We were able to move back and get Micah Parsons out of Penn State after he didn't play last year. him and Chris Jones, best players on the field today, no doubt about it. I watched Micah Parsons defend a speed option like it was nothing and cover both. Again, we've seen him do this multiple times this year against speed option, where he covers the running back and the quarterback and tackle for loss. He's an amazing player. And I'm excited to see what they do with him. Hopefully, Dan Quinn continues to just use him all over the place and deploy him as a weapon. He has to rush the passer at times. I'm not saying that has to be his primary responsibility every single week. But when you're talking about somebody that already has 8+ sacks, he's different. He's built different. And as a Cowboys fan, I leave this game encouraged by the defense because when we've lost in the playoffs, when we've gotten to that stage, we've lost because of our defense. So if we can get into a situation where we can play defense like this and really give other teams and good quarterbacks problems, and we don't get against Aaron Rodgers and he throws for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns with a bad hamstring, or touches us again, right? And we're able to hold people down. That's where I just need to see my offense step up. Now, who has home field is going to be very interesting because I feel like the Cowboys offensively, for whatever reason, this is just my opinion. I don't have any numbers or anything. I don't feel as great about our offense on the road as I do when we play in Arlington. I still think our offense is great, but I got to see more consistency from everybody across the board. Kellen, Dak, McCarthy, everybody in terms of execution to feel comfortable. Like if we're able to get home field, then I feel really, really good. People coming to Arlington. I feel really, really good. Where I don't want to end up is we get into a situation where we have to go to Green Bay, and I feel as though we're a better team than Green Bay, but weather starts to play a factor, and all of a sudden Dak's balls aren't looking the same, and all these issues are going on, and we're veering away from the run game, and we're doing craziness on the road that we don't normally do, stuff that's uncharacteristic of how we perform at home. So things to pay attention to. But I'm not hitting the panic button at all. I think they're going to come out. This is a crazy NFL season. I think they're going to come out and look fine on Thanksgiving. Just like, it's just up and down. They're probably going to have one or two more stinkers. That's why I'm not even here to say that the Cowboys are going to go undefeated in the NFC East. They're going to lay an egg to somebody, whether it's the Eagles, the Giants again, or Washington, who they still have to play twice. They're going to lay an egg somewhere. But Green Bay's laid an egg. Bucks have laid an egg. This is a weird season. Now, as a fan, we want to see our team take off and take advantage of that so we can get that home field that I was talking about. And that'd be awesome. But we got to respect the league. This is the league that we're in. And this is the last point I'll make. Learn from today. Learn from that adversity. Got to get consistent on offense regardless of who's not there, especially making the play calling. The play calling has to adjust to the personnel. But the biggest point is you have to be ramping at the right time. The Bucs weren't the best team throughout the NFL last year. They were the best team in January. They were the best team when it mattered. They just got in. Just if you're Dallas, yes, I want home field, but first and foremost, and they will get in, but get in there and be playing your best ball at the right time. Because that's what's going to matter. I'm not going to think about this Kansas City game if we go in the playoffs and, everybody's there and we're fixing it's not even, our team right now, we had $57 million that wasn't even on the field. So this all needs to, and everything needs to be directed towards playing your best football when we get into January. That's the point. Anyway, y'all hit me in the comments with your thoughts. Congrats to the Kansas City fans. I believe they go to 7-4 on the season. Chargers playing right now, so they're trying to keep pace and fight for their playoff positioning as well. Guys, hit up usr.com/fanatic. We're going to have another promo rolling out this week for Thanksgiving. So jump on, existing people. Sign up right now. usr.com/fanatic. All you guys ask me all the time, where can I go, do some sports betting? Do it with us. usr.com/fanatic. Sports 100 FP bonus. Free play matching all deposits within 24 hours. Love you guys. We'll be back. We'll be all right. Peace.